Konnichiwa! Hello, everyone! Hello, hello! I'm here! I made it! How's everyone? Hi, hi, hi! Do you like my new setup? Wow! I'm coming to you from the world of Whimsicalia itself. Although, we haven't really gotten there in the comics yet, but... I still wanted to be in a little fantasy world. You're good? I'm good. I'm very sleepy. I'm a goofy goober. I keep saying this. I'm a goofy goober. I feel like I say this every stream. I stayed up really late last night, making sure everything was ready and done and right. And I got not a lot of sleep, but it's okay. I will sleep later. But yes, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I'm so excited. I don't have like a proper plan for today's stream. All I know is I want to talk about the comic and talk about like art and stuff, and yeah, there's okay. Oh, my gem business failed? What? But hey, the smile I won't go give away? Well, I'm sorry about your gem business. Is this a song? Am I... I love the comic so much already. You already read it? Thank you! Yes, the comic is out now, so if you haven't read it already, I highly suggest you do. But I won't share, like, I won't give any crazy spoilers today or anything. So if you don't read it now, you can still read it later. Or you could come back. I don't know. I'd like for you to stay, though. It's a nice comic. Thank you. You read on NamiComi. Thank you. I haven't been able to, like, check comments or anything. I literally just I just woke up like half an hour ago. I started posting a bunch of stuff so people knew it was out. But that's all I've done. I haven't actually like checked anything. But thank you for reading it. Thank you for reading it. I will say, I guess I'm a little... It's not exactly how I hoped to publish it exactly. So I'm gonna be publishing this weekly, and the first, it's suggested that you post like the first 3 chapters so that people can subscribe to it. I believe this is like a thing on Webtoon, where, you have to have like 3 chapters, or else people can't subscribe to it or something. I'm not sure. I heard it from somewhere though. So, I wanted to get 3 chapters out. But technically it's not really 3 chapters. It's prologue in like 1.5 chapters. But I was working on the 2nd chapter, and I thought I had it all like done and good and nice. And then as I was working on it, I was like, wait a minute. There's a lot of stuff I still need to add. So that's why it's part 1 of chapter 2 posted. And that's why the art is still a little on the older side, which hopefully doesn't take away from the story too much. But as we progress with the story, and as we progress with my drawings and stuff, the art will not be so old. You could subscribe after the first. Oh, good to know. I don't know Webtoon's workings, but I read the comic there. Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think I used to talk with another Webtoon creator, and she said that you should post like the first 3 so that people can subscribe or whatever. But yeah. So I'm excited it's finally out. I'm so happy. This is like I said, this is gonna be my summer project, so I won't go too crazy talking about my comic all the time. I just really, I wanna share with you guys what I have right think I don't know if I'll do like a web comic style or type stream every week, but I definitely want to talk about it so people know about it. But I'll try not to be too annoying about it. But yeah, I'm so excited. Also, how's the background music? Is it a little quiet? I feel like it's a little too quiet. Turn up a little. I'll support you throughout the way. I really love your comic and I believe in its success. Thank you! Yay! I'm so excited! I'm so excited, I'm so excited, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was really nervous, but now I'm not feeling too nervous. I mean, I'm still a little nervous, but I'm feeling pretty good. And I have a little bit of a buffer now, so that's good. I did the bad thing. You think the music is fine? Okay, good. I did a bad thing. So, it's highly suggested when you start making a comic that you have a bunch of chapters already done, so you have a buffer. So that way you can post chapters like weekly, but have chapters already finished, so then while you make more chapters, it's like already good and stuff. I didn't do that. I only have the first 3, and then after that there's nothing. So I gotta hustle up and draw a lot. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing some webtoon or webcomic drawing streams for sure. I think that could be really fun too. And then you guys could get like a little sneak peek for what's to come. I'm so excited. Also, there's like, I don't know. There's so many things. I'm really happy though. And I thank you guys so much for reading it and supporting me. It makes me so happy. So happy! Yeah! But let's see. So I have a bunch of questions from one of our friends here. It's from Arconacy. I still can't pronounce that name very well. It's from our dragon friend. So, he was very nice and posted a big old list of questions. Now, I'm not gonna answer every single question. Also, because I don't want to like reveal the whole story right now. I still need some suspense for you guys. But there are quite a few questions that I want to answer because there are some good ones in here. Well, they're all good questions, but there's some that I really would like to answer and talk with you about. And he also categorized everything, which is really cool. So, yeah, if you don't mind, I will answer some questions. You guys are also free to ask questions in the chat if you have anyone. Oh, hello! Yes, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about your big old question list, which is very appreciated. Yeah, if you guys have any questions you want to ask in the chat now, it could be directly about my comic, or it could just be about comics in general. It could be about the characters or what's to come. Yeah. Sorry, don't mean to yawn. I just woke up. But yeah, so I think this could be really cool. So I'm gonna start answering some questions. I think the first question that he asks is where did the idea for this comic come from? I think that's a great question because oh my goodness. Well, okay. I want to say I have a lot of ideas for a lot of different comics and stories and stuff. I have always been very interested in writing as well as drawing. Actually, one of my very first comics ever I drew in like 2nd grade. And it was about all my puppy plushies, all my dog stuffed animals. And it was like, I think it was like a puppy hotel or something. I don't know, but my mom kept it because she thought it was so cute. So, I guess I've always been like, wanting to make stuff, and I've always had ideas for stuff. But specifically, A Flower Waves to You. I I came up with the idea, I think I said this before, in my senior year of high school. And it's about, so basically, I had quite many interesting friendships in my life. Um, and many of them I wish turned out differently because we're not friends anymore, and that makes me sad. Um, but obviously, there's reasons for that. But I have always wanted like a really wholesome like friendship like that. So I wanted to create my own. And so I created the characters Namika and Saika, and I wanted them to be like the bestest of friends ever because I've always wanted that. Um, and I have had that, but it sometimes didn't end up right, which is why in the beginning of the story they aren't friends to begin with. They were friends, but then, something happens and they're not friends anymore. So I wanted to kind of explore maybe the idea of, how would a friendship turn out if if things happen differently. So that's kind of the main idea. But then I wanted to add a fantasy element because, as you know, I love magical girls. Magical girls are my favorite, like, genre of media ever. And, so I wanted to try to figure out how I could bring in a magical aspect into the world of these characters, as well as, keeping things. Personally, I love when we have magical girls who are also dealing with daily life struggles. Like, they have to deal with their normal life, but then they're also a magical girl on top of everything else. And so I like that balance of both. So the story is, it's kind of half and half, spending their daily lives together in school, but then also, battling these, crazy creatures and saving their friends indirectly, which I think will be really cool to explore in the future chapters, like Twilight Sparkle. Yeah, actually, yeah, I would say it would be somewhat inspired by that. Yeah, I would say I was gonna make like a little mini reel about like different anime that I feel like if you like that anime, you'd probably like my story. And like My Little Pony was one of them for sure. Well, My Little Pony's not an anime. Well, I mean, if you watch the Japanese dub, it could be. But I was gonna say My Little Pony, K-On, because I love Slice of Life. I love Slice of Life so much, so I wanted it to be like, I want there to be quite a bit of Slice of Life, but also with the fantasy. And then, Sailor Moon, obviously. If you like any of the Precures, I feel like it would fit those vibes. And honestly, I was gonna include Madoka Magica, but my story does not go as dark as Madoka Magica does. There will be some like, trials and tribulations, I don't know. There will be some darker parts, but nothing that's super, super dark in the story. Ooh, question. Okay. Which which answer I can probably guess. Will there be will there be magical transformations? Of course. Yes, of course. I'm so excited about them. I feel like I've already revealed their magical girl outfits, but yes, there will be magical transformations, and perhaps their magical girl outfit is not the only magical transformation they will have. But that's all I'll say, because I don't want to reveal everything. But yeah, I get some Futariwa Precure vibes. Yes, that one was a big inspiration. I was watching that. Oh, when did I watch that? I love that. I think that's my favorite Precure series. Yeah, I really like that Precure. The first Precure ever. Very, very good. I would love to get figures of Nagisa and Hanaka. Oh my god, that would be so awesome. But yeah. Yeah, I'm super excited. It's a good one. It is really good. Utari wa Precure. Your best, my best. I don't know the words, but I know the tune. But yeah, definitely got some inspo from there. And now, okay. Also, the characters themselves are actually inspired by different parts of me, I would say. Namika and Saika are both like the two halves of me a little bit. I guess they're kind of self-insert, but not really. Like, it's just based on like certain aspects of my personality, I guess. Like Namika being shy and nervous, I guess would be like a little bit of the more negative side of me. And then I guess Saika is more of like who I wish I could have been when I was younger, you know? Someone who's outgoing, which when I was really little, I was super outgoing. I would make friends with like everybody and it was great. And then, life happened and then I became a little awkward bean. So both the girls are definitely inspired by like, different parts of myself, but also parts of myself that I wish I was more of. I assume that means no Giraffe Girl cameo. Yes, Mariri is not gonna be in the comic. I mean, maybe in the background. No, I am the creator of the comic. Maybe I'll do like a random cameo or something for fun. Maybe on like a side episode or something. That could be kind of silly. But no, the story is primarily only Namika and Saika are the magical girls. Easter egg Mariri. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll be like a student in the background or something. And you'll know it's me because I got my giraffe ears. But yeah, that would be funny. And actually, for the thumbnail of my new video, which thank you guys so much for the support on that. Woo, thank you. In the thumbnail of my new video, I drew myself in the school uniform, which is kind of fun. I think it's a cute little school uniform, so I thought it would be fun to draw myself in it. Also because I always draw myself in my giraffe outfit. I feel like it would be fun to see me in some other outfit. Even though you can't really see like the majority of the outfit. But still, I think it looks cute. Also, did you guys like the new video? I tried a bunch of different like editing styles. I added some anime clips or GIFs or GIFs or whatever you call them. I added in some of those. I wanted to include like an anime specifically that I've watched and seen. So, I hope it looks cool. I was really happy when I finished it. Oh, hello, welcome in, Space Cow. How you doing? But yeah, so I wanted to try some new things with that video, and I think it turned out okay. I hope it turned out okay. It's a good editing style. Yay! That makes me happy. I'll try to make more videos with that kind of style then. Yeah. I think the very next video, I'm getting a little off topic, but it's fine. I think the very next video I make will be like how to be a VTuber kind of thing. Because I've been working on that video for a while, so I'd like to finish it. Don't know when exactly I'll post it. If I go crazy this week, maybe I can get it done this week. But I have a lot to get done for the comic this week. I want to try to get a buffer, like a big buffer. So I was thinking maybe I could draw 2 chapters this week. That way I got a nice space. Because I do go on vacation at the end of this month. So, but I want you guys to have weekly consistent chapters because I think that's great. No pressure. Yes, no pressure. I'm only doing it if it's fun. If I'm like exhausted. Well, okay, that's kind of a lie. I have stayed up very late the past few nights in order to get things done. But I do it because I love it. It's not because, like, I'm like, I have to do this. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I feel like I'm just gonna say that a bunch today. I'm really happy with it, though. Comic series long... Wait, as long as One Piece? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Maybe. Actually, I guess I can tell you guys my idea for the timeline of my comic. From what I can tell right now, specifically, A Flower Waves to You, I believe will be around a 3-year-long project. With each arc, so there's 3 arcs in A Flower Waves to You. Each arc will be for each year. So this year is the first arc. And I think there's about 20-something chapters. So, yeah. With art, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Exactly. That's with life, too. It doesn't matter where you end up. It matters how you got there. Yeah. Why not? Why not have it be as long as One Piece? I mean, I guess I could, but I don't know. That's really long. I will definitely be revisiting the world once this specific series is over. And I will definitely be drawing the characters and stuff because they mean so much to me. But I want to draw. I want to make a bunch of different series. I don't want to just do one series. I want to do a bajillion series. So, yeah. And since this one has been the one I've worked on the longest, I was like, you know what? We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna make it happen. Make it be real. And it is real. Netflix adaptation? Wait, are you asking me? Netflix or Disney? I don't know. As long as I still own the rights, either one would be cool. Remember to get copyrights. Yes. Yeah, that would be cool. They do have nice designs. I just have to see the magical outfits. You will. The magical outfits, let me think. I'm trying to think of what chapter. Oh my gosh, that scared me so much. My cat's using the litter box. And I just heard like very slow, meticulous scratching sounds. And that scared the crap out of me. I was like, who is scratching on my door right now? It's just my cat. Anyway, magical outfits. I'm trying to think of when that will be. I mean, I will say that the beginning of the story does spend a little bit of time in the normal world before we actually get to Whimsicalia. Because I want to establish the characters and stuff before we get into like the crazy adventures. But it will happen pretty soon. I want to say maybe chapter 5 or chapter 6-ish. I think they will be there. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, she's so cute. Yeah. Now she's eating. That was a quick bathroom break. Kind of scary. But yeah. So I think around then. I hope. I'm pretty sure. I have to like re-look at all my notes. Everything is written. The whole first arc is fully written. I just actually have to like draw it out now. And so also speaking about the timeline still a little bit. So like I said, it's probably gonna take around 3 years to fully complete the comic. To get the full story out there. And how I'm doing it is once I finish the first arc, then I will go back into writing mode for the second arc. I have the general gist of how I want the story to go. I know how it ends. I know like the key points, but I want to write like the in-between stuff, you know, how they got there. So that time that won't be spent producing the comic directly will be spent writing new chapters. So I believe that this version of this part, you know, this arc, I believe we will be posting until maybe even as late as November. And then after that, there will be it'll be put on hiatus for a little bit, and then we'll go into the writing of it, and I'll bring it back in the spring. So that way, you know, it'll be nice and consistent, I think, you know? Yeah. Good. I think it's a good timeline. It makes sense to me. Okay. I want to answer another question. Let me see. So who are the main characters? So far you've met 2 of the main characters. Now, Namika and Saika. Here, I'll put them on the screen. Boop, boop. So this is Saika over here on this side. Over here is Namika. These are like the 2 main characters. But we do have a supporting cast who you will be meeting very soon. Actually, you'll be meeting one in the very next chapter. We have about, I'd say the next supporting cast would be about 3 characters. Yeah. There's a bunch of side characters. And I really like when series has like side characters that are reoccurring. That kind of have like set personalities and stuff. So we do have those. So like the class, there's like a bunch of classmates and stuff. You will see them reoccurring, and they are like actual characters, but like they're not important to the story, but they are there. And so they will interact with our main 2 quite a bit. But yeah, I'd say there's about 3 more like main supporting characters after Namika and Saika. Actually, I have definitely talked about it before, so I will reveal one of them. And that is Yume, Princess Yume, of Whimsicalia. But we'll talk about that later. On the topic of side characters, how about the most important one, the tour guide? What about him? He's just a guy. You might hear about him again in the future. The teacher really likes him. Hashtag team villain. Oh yes, there is a couple villains actually. There's more than one villain, I will say that. So things may not be what they seem. Hum hum hum. But yeah, if you want to see Yume, I'm sure I have a picture of Yume in here. Let me see. I've shared Yume on my Instagram before. A League of Evil? I don't know. Maybe something like that. But Yume, I guess this is kind of getting into spoiler territory, but I don't think you'll be too I don't think the story's gonna be ruined if I show you Yume. Let me see. I gotta find a picture, a good picture of her. I like to see why villain became villain. Oh yes, there will be I also like that. So there will be a good explanation as to why people choose to do what they do. Okay, so I have to like scroll through. I have so many images. So many images I have to scroll through to find her. But I will. She's in here somewhere. But yeah, no, the villain, or villains, they do have like a backstory and stuff that you guys will get to see at some point. And I think it'll also be like slowly revealed throughout. Like you might be able to pick up the pieces as the story progresses as to why things are happening the way they are. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, so we do have like villains. We have not so great people. But we also have the nightmares, which I've talked about a little bit. And the nightmares are... we have a couple questions about the nightmares specifically. So like, what exactly are the nightmares? Where do they come from? All that stuff. And I don't want to say like exactly just yet. But generally the nightmares are exactly that. They are nightmares like that people dream of. But the people themselves do not manifest the nightmares. The nightmares are manifested in other ways, which you'll find out relatively soon. And they affect the people's dreams. So, you know, if this were like based in reality, you and I, when we go to bed, we don't have, you know, control of our dreams. But something else does. And, sorry, I'm still scrolling. But yeah, so the nightmares affect the people's, you know, dreams and stuff, which then affects their daily lives a little bit too. Which is why Namika and Saika, you know, are determined to defeat them. So that way they can help everybody around them feel a lot better. Nightmares represents real fears, like Black Dragon represents fear of monsters in the dark. Yeah, so are they like their own entities? The nightmares, yes, they are in a way their own entity. They come from something else, which I won't say yet because it's kind of like a big plot point. But they do come from something else. And but yeah, so when people dream, their nightmare, like when they have a dream, their nightmare is more specific to them. And so sorry I popped up the screen for a second there. But yeah, so each person has their own nightmare. Not everyone will have the exact same nightmare, or if they have, I don't know, I don't think there'll be like collective dreaming, but if there was, it would be like every person would say their own version of it, but like in the same sort of sphere. But yeah, there are like definitely moments where the nightmares are directly a fear of the person who is having that nightmare. A bit of a rhetorical question. Will there be a moment where they control their own dream? So are you asking like the person who is having the dream, or are you asking about Namika and Saika? Because technically Namika and Saika are the one, they are in control when they are in the dreamland. But only under a very specific circumstance. Which I won't share. Even though I've definitely said it before, but I'm not going to say it now. Yeah, them. So the magical girls, yes, they are in control when they are together. But maybe not so much when they're not together. You know, the magic comes from the numbers. The numbers being the two people. They have to be together in order for the magic to work properly. Okay, I have a tiny little doodle. A tiny little doodle of Yume here that I can show you guys. Let me see. La, 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 la. I'm getting it now. I really like Yume. She's been posted on my Instagram before. I really like her design. She's just a little squishy thing. There are two halves of a magical giraffe girl. Of course they need to be together. Yes! Yes, and then... That'd be kind of funny, actually. If, like, they fuse and it turns into me. That probably won't happen. But, sure. That would be pretty silly. Alright, I'm pulling up the picture of Yume now. Fusion! Giraffe! Okay, where's my little Yume? Oh, Yume, where are you? There she is. Oh, you can see her head. Let me make her a little smaller. Cute little Yume. She has no body right now in this picture. But this is Yume, which you guys will meet later. But I can show you with her now because I forgot to mention there's cute little animal creatures and Yume is one of them. They live in Whimsicalia. So I hope you're excited to meet them. She's just a little guy. Maybe I should get one with her body. It looks kind of funny. With it just being her head. It's okay. She can just sit down here. But yes, this is Yume down here. She's cute. I love her. I have even made a big sculpture of her, which I should show you guys. I made a ceramic... It was gonna be a cookie jar, but then I didn't feel like actually making a cookie jar. So I just made it into a sculpture, and it is of Yume, which I should post to my Instagram. I haven't posted it ever, so maybe I will do that. I'm definitely gonna be posting a lot more of these characters. I still want to do like fan art and stuff too. I want to focus on other things as well. Comic is just one big thing, but I want to do a bunch of other little things too. I'd love to see it. Yay! I will show it then. Alright, let's answer another question. If you have questions too, feel free to ask. But I'm also pulling from my list, so let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, okay. This is a good question. Does each character have different powers? This one? Yes, they do. Each has their own strengths and weaknesses in their magic abilities, as well as like during fights. And I actually have like a really fun idea for kind of like a training arc for the girls. I feel like would be really fun. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, so they do have different powers. They do have combined powers though. So this is kind of like if you've seen Precure, sometimes they like do like a big power up together. That does happen quite often, I will say. But let me think. I won't say exactly what the abilities are just yet, but I will say that Namika's fighting style is a bit more passive, and she can also heal. And Saika is more direct, and she's like pretty good at defending as well. So those are the kind of fighting styles. So they're very much like, they need each other because, like, when Saika's going crazy, she needs somebody to heal her and stuff. So when I don't think Saika ever goes like crazy. But you'll see once they start getting into like the combat of everything. But yeah, so they do have their own set of abilities and whatnot. Even little Yume down here, she has her own abilities too. And specific things that she can do that the girls can't do. So, yeah. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. Let me see. What is your favorite magical ability? Okay. My favorite little power is okay, so the powers I will say are like flowery based. The whole, comic theme has a lot of like floral motifs. So one of the big powers is petal power, and they shoot out like petals, like Pokemon. Like when they, what is it? What is that called when the Pokemon shoot out like the leaves, the leaves, and the petals and stuff? It's kind of like that, but a little more advanced. But yeah, their signature move will be petal power, and they do it together. It can only be done together. But they do each have their own signature move, like, of their own. But I'm not sharing that. You'll have to wait for it to happen in the comic. But yeah. Oh, also, I will say, the fighting style, so they do both fight. And the fighting style is different as well. Like, Saika, she fights with her fists. But, Namika tends to kick more. Yeah. I think that's a fun little difference of style. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. So I kind of answered this already, but I'll answer it again, but in a little more detail. Are there other magical creatures in the comic book world? Yes! So obviously we have little Yume here, who's a little bunny girl. And she is a specific species, so Yume is what we call animes. That is what they're called. They're little animal creatures. They do stand on 2 legs. They're cute. Most of them are quite cute and small and have round little bellies. Imagine kind of like Care Bears, but like all kinds of animals. So those are the animes. But we also have little fairies in the world, who are called Floramies. And they are little flower fairies, and they play an integral part to the dream world. They play a very important part in people's dreams, which you will see soon. And I will say this: every person has their own Floramie, the little fairy. Every person has their own Floramie. So it would be really cute. I think this could be fun if people wanted to design their own Floramies. That would be really adorable. I have to actually, show what they look like so people can make it their own design based off of them. But that would be really cute if everyone had their own little Floramies. Oh, it would be adorable. But yes, they are little flower fairies. They're also cute and squishy as well. I like cute, squishy creatures. Gimme, I wanna. Soon. Maybe I'll include it in I want to do, like I said before, I want to do a draw this in your style challenge with these characters in this world. And maybe I could do like a little draw this in your style of those. The Floramies would be really adorable. You want Floramie? Here, child. Wait, here, child. Save a seat? Rosie May is very cute. Thank you! Yes, Rosie May, our precious little kitty friend. Rosie May! May May! Oh my goodness. I love her too. Rosie May is inspired by Izzy. Does not look like Izzy, but she is inspired by Izzy. Izzy, my cat in real life. I love Rosie May. Rosie May is best emotional support cat. Well, okay, Izzy's best emotional support cat. Rosie May is inspired by best emotional support cat. But yeah, I really like Rosie May. Naya! Was perfect delivery? Yeah! She like communicated to Namika. It's actually kind of so. I will say this: Rosie May does not have any powers or anything, and Rosie really can't like communicate like exactly. Namika kind of she fills in the blanks. She kind of she imagines Rosie saying things more so than Rosie's actually saying. So Rosie's really just a cat. But Namika, she lets her imagination run a little wild. But in a good way, I'd say. Yes, she has powers. Powers of cute. Yes, okay. I will say, yes, she has the powers of being cutest kitty. At least in the comic. The cutest kitty is in real life. She's mine. But yeah. Nom, 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 nom. Okay. Let me see. So, okay, the second half of the list has some questions about just like creating the comic and the project in general. Which I can answer for sure. So I might even answer all of the ones about creating the comic because there's a lot that goes into creating a comic, and you really don't realize just how much work there is in a comic until you're actually making a comic. Like I was, even now when I think about it, like, oh yeah, I can write, I can do all this part of the process in a day. And then when you actually do it, it takes all day. So it's an interesting learning curve for sure. Because, so when I draw normally, depending on the drawing that I do, I can, let me think. I can complete a drawing in a day but still have day left. So like a headshot drawing, if I'm just drawing a character's face, I'd say that takes around 2 hours from start to finish. But then when you add a comic, think about that. 2 hours for a headshot drawing is pretty fast in the grand scheme of things. But then when you make a comic, that's how many of that? So, it adds up really fast. That's why I've been staying up so late so much, because I'm like, wait, I need to finish this one part, but then this one part takes like 5 hours. So, yeah. Okay, so the first question about creating the comic is, what was the process of creating the first chapter like? So the very, very first chapter, I had, so like I said, I used to draw comics when I was little, but I was little, so I wasn't really thinking about it. But the very first chapter, was quite difficult. Actually writing it wasn't hard, because I already kind of knew what I wanted to happen. But actually drawing it and stuff was a little bit more difficult. So the way that I have been drawing it, and I think I'm gonna change how I've started it, or how I've been drawing it. I have everything in a little sketchbook of mine, and I've been drawing it sort of in a traditional sense of a comic. So, like when you flip through like a manga, I've kind of been drawing it like that. But the webtoons and like webcomics, often have a scroll feature. And I didn't take that into consideration at first. So when I drew it, I had to basically reassemble all of my panels so that they would be properly formatted for the scrolling of a webcomic. So that took a lot of time, but I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me now. And now I actually don't mind it because then I can see how I want everything to fit on a page. But that was definitely one of the biggest learning curves. It was oh, I can't just draw. I mean, I could draw just a normal comic and then format it later, but it does take a little bit more time doing it that way. And also with the first chapter, there's a lot of, when you introduce a new element or a new setting, you have to draw it for the first time. So, certain backgrounds and things, if you're smart, you'll make sort of a larger drawing of a certain setting. That way you can use it in multiple frames. But I didn't do that at first because I didn't think about that at first. But I mean, as I went on, I realized, you can make certain sections to be reused. So this background here that I'm standing in front of, this one is Whimsicalia, a part of Whimsicalia, which you see in the prologue. And this one, I realized, oh, if I make a big, larger drawing, then it'll help, make things a little bit faster. So that way I don't have to draw the background every single time. Obviously, there's still different angles and stuff which have to be drawn. But once you have the main background part, then you could probably tell I have certain sections of the sky are visible, or this part of the ground or whatever, whenever you're looking at the character. And I mean, with comics, the most important aspect of a comic is the character. So I tend to spend more time focusing on the character expression and stuff than the background. Because, people aren't always going to be staring at the background. Unless the background is the focal point of what's happening right now. But usually the focal point is the character. So I try to put more energy into them than the backgrounds. I don't know how I got on a background tangent. But yeah, oh, and then the next question actually is, what is the most difficult part of drawing backgrounds and hands? Backgrounds and hands, because I just don't do them enough, and hands are always hard. What? That background is just your Minecraft work. See, the rainbow bridge, the cherry trees. I'm sure we can find your house there somewhere. Maybe! You're so right. I definitely have a theme of things that I like. You can see it with everything that I do. I like pink, I like flowers, I like rainbows. That's so true. That's so funny. I didn't even realize that. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. But yeah, definitely hands. And then sometimes anatomy can be a little difficult. Usually what I do for anatomy stuff, though, I usually just take a picture of myself doing the pose, or I'll take a picture of my hand in a certain position, and then I'll use that as a direct reference, because sometimes you can't find a pose that you really want to use on the internet. Finding pose references can be kind of hard. So I don't even try to look. I just make my own. I pose up on the camera so that I can see how to draw it easier. Okay. Me too. I find using pictures of yourself as a reference helps a ton. For sure. And it's free, and you're right there. It's the easiest way to do it. I mean, obviously, if you're drawing different body types, it might be hard, because obviously you can't just change how your body is shaped. But you still get the main gist of it. And I mean, as long as you get like the general shapes of it down, you can add or remove weight and stuff. Okay, but here's another question I really like. How did you design the characters' appearances? And this one, honestly, I can't give a straight answer for, because so I made Namika first. I thought I missed it. Nope, it's still happening. I made it. Namika, I designed first. And I guess this answers another question. I do feel a little bit more like Namika. I relate to her a little bit more than Saika. But I love both characters very much. They're both my babies. But Namika, I wanted her. So Namika's hairstyle. She wears her hair in a ponytail a lot. And when I was younger, I have curly hair. I've always had curly hair. And when I was younger, especially in middle school, I didn't know how to control my hair. I didn't know how to style it in a way that looked nice. So I usually just wore it in a ponytail. So that's why partially Namika wears her hair in a ponytail. Because she doesn't really know what to do with it. So she just throws it up in a ponytail. And her ponytails are loose because I just like that design. I just like loose ponytails like that. But yeah, so... And I also, okay, the ahoge, which is like her little hair on top, that wasn't in her original design, but... I was like, wait. One random day, I was like, wait. I always felt like there was something missing with her hair. And I was like, wait. I can give her an ahoge. And it's cute! And it fits her so well, so I gave her one. And then I had to redraw every drawing that I had her in because I added it later. But it fits her so well and I love it so much. I really do. I love her ahoge. Is that how you say it? Ahoge? Kinda sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Foolish hair. Because she is a little silly. She's silly. Silly. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hi, welcome in. How's everyone today? I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good, too. Yeah, welcome in. So that's Namika's design. Saika's design, she is sort of based on, like... this is kind of embarrassing. But she was based off of a girl that I really liked in school. I really wanted to be her friend, but I didn't know how. So I kind of made a character. I gotta go, but I'd be lurking. Oh, okay. Well, have a nice day, Fawn. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, hi, Dana. Or Saved by Grace, excuse me. Welcome in. But yeah, so, Saika is kind of inspired by, like, that person, but not exactly. Like, her personality is not the same at all. But just, like, the blonde hair. And I really wanted her to have dyed hair because I want her to be, like, I always wanted to dye my hair. And I have dyed my hair for a little bit. But, I wanted to have the confidence to dye my hair. So I really wanted Saika to have dyed hair because I think it kind of shows her confidence and she'll do whatever she wants because she wants to do it. Yeah. Oh, hi, Corey. Thank you for stopping in. Hi. But yeah, so that's kind of the basis of their designs. I also wanted them to be sort of opposites. So Namika has dark hair, Saika has light hair. And I chose pink and purple as the colors because those are my favorite colors. So, That's why they look that way. Also, I just realized if you're on the shorts version of the stream, you can't see the characters. So I'll put it on my face. This is Saika. And this is Namika. Now they know. I switched accounts. Okay, well, good to have our usual account. But yeah, so those are my girls. Those are kind of where the designs came from. Also, I really wanted Saika to have braids because I always thought braids were pretty. Team Namika, did I spell it correctly? Yes, you did. You did. Namika is spelled N-A-M-I-K-A. And Saika is spelled S-A-I-K-A. Saika Namika. And Yume, our little bunny friend, his name is Y-U-M-E. Yume. You love them? Thank you! And you just started reading? Thank you! I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it is out today. It is out on Webtoon and NamiComi, if you didn't know. I downloaded Webtoon just to read it. Well, thank you very much. That's very sweet. Thank you. I hope you like it. I hope it's worth downloading Webtoon for. Trying to move her in like a nice spot. Maybe I'll put them there. But yeah, it's very, very exciting. I'm so excited. I can't believe it's actually here. And I talked about this a little bit in my video, which I'll mention again. I had, like I said, I've been working on this for a while, but I never actually dedicated as much time to it as I wanted. I guess, I said I worked on it for years, and I have worked on it for years, but I've done a lot more thinking than actually doing. So that's why I really wanted to sort of force myself to actually do it this year. Because I've mentioned this before actually, that I talked about this in my video, but every year that I really wanted to post the comic or start making it, I'd get a bit of bad news and then I would not do it. And I won't say that didn't happen this year. Actually, this year I've gotten quite a bit more bad news than normal, but that's okay. Because I guess I was sort of waiting for a year that was perfect, everything was going good and nothing bad happened. But I very, very quickly realized that that's not possible. You can't control when good or bad things are going to happen. But you can control what you choose to do when those things happen. And so, even though there are some unfortunate things happening right now, and unfortunate things that have happened recently, I've decided to fully throw myself into my comic and post it now. Because, like I said, this is something I really want to do. So I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna put it off anymore. And I'm not gonna let a bit of bad news take my comic away from me. If that makes sense. I hope that doesn't sound too weird. I don't know. Welcome back, RTG. Welcome back. But yeah. Alright, so we have another question here. How long does it take to create one comic book page? So, that's a hard question. Because they aren't exactly... So, because it's a scroll format, the pages are a little different. We have panels And we have... I still don't know all the terminology myself because it's a bit confusing. Great job on the comic. Thank you, Space Cow. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yay! But yeah, so there's like panels and stuff. But I will say so. I'm trying to think of, I don't know what it's called. But basically, I'll call it pages. So in the very first chapter, there's 6 pages. But then they're like cut up into smaller pieces. But you can't see where it's cut. It's just like one seamless, thing. But one page... Well, you know what? Let's look at the hours spent. I'm gonna check my iPad right now. And we'll see just how long I've put into each panel. So... We'll calculate. We'll calculate how long chapter 1 took. Now, specifically, chapter 1 is gonna be longer than any other chapter because it's my first time doing it, right? So I'm hoping to cut this time by a lot as we keep drawing. As I keep drawing. I don't know why I keep saying we. It's only me. I'm the only one here. Well, I'm the only one making the comic. But anyway. So, I'm gonna calculate this, okay? You guys ready? Oh no, I need to go. Oh no! Well, good luck! Good luck fighting! And thank you for stopping by. But, okay, so let's calculate how long the first chapter took. Because I'd like to know. So, the first panel is... Also... So this is like, okay, so when I first started drawing these are from 2 years ago. I created these files in June of 2024, which is really crazy to think about. But I did it. Okay. Okay, the first panel of the first chapter took me 8 hours and 45 minutes. That's just the first one. And there's 6 of them. Alright. Okay, the next one, let's see. Oh my god, the next one. It's always 45 minutes. The next one is 9 hours and 45 minutes. I think we have a theme here. I would love to cut that time in half. I don't know if that's possible, but... Oh my goodness. I didn't even know! It was that long. Alright. Okay, the next one is only 5 hours and 30 minutes. So 5.5 hours. Okay. That's not bad. That's better. Alright. 3 more to go. Let's see. The 4th panel. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, it's getting less. So as I've drawn more panels, the panels are costing less time. That's good to know. This one was 4 hours and 54 minutes. So, 4.54. Okay. Let's see, the next one. Oops, that's not the right one. This one. The 5th panel. Uh-oh. It went back up. This one was 6 hours and 2 minutes. Okay. And then the last panel. Dun, 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 which was, I'd say this one is my favorite panel. I love. So the last panel is the one with like the dream sequence. I love the dream sequence thing. I think it's really pretty. Okay. This one only took 5 hours, so that's not bad. So, in total... Okay, so in total, the first chapter alone took me about... Well, if I round up, it's oh my god. Okay, the first chapter in total took about 39 hours and 39 and a half hours. So almost 40 hours went into just the first chapter, which is crazy. Oh my god, I did not know. I did not know it was that much. That's kind of a lot. Now, I will say that time probably is a little bit more because I have gone back and like redrawn a couple things since 2024. But yeah, in total, that's kind of a lot. That's a lot. That is a lot. I'm hoping that they won't take that long in the future, but you know, it'll be what it'll be. I would love to cut that time in half. Holy cow. That's a full-time job, literally! Oh my goodness. But yeah, I think as we go, it won't be so long. That's crazy. I didn't know. Do you guys, for those of you who have read the chapters already, do you guys like the length of the chapters? Like how, so it is 6, like, panels or whatever. It's not really panels though. I think that's the wrong terminology. Because like a panel is like the little scenes. I think there's 5 panels per page. It's a great length? Okay, good. Good to know. Because I originally thought of making the chapters longer, which I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Then they'll be too long. Too long for one person to do all by themselves. They're a great length. That's good though. That's good to know. Good to know it's a good length. I always worry about making things too short or not giving enough info or something. Lunchtime over here, but I'm looking forward to reading it later today. Thank you! Yeah, whenever you can. It's okay if you can't read it like as soon as it releases. That's fine. No pressure. It's supposed to be for fun, right? So far, so good to me? Okay, good. Good. Okay, then I'll probably keep continuing with this length. Yeah, so I think, you know, as time goes on, I can probably hopefully cut that time in half. That would be great if I could cut it from 40 to 20 hours. Which would mean... Oh! Hi, Fallen! Welcome back! That's so fun, you guys keep taking turns. So if I were to do 6 pages with 20 hours each... I'm doing math. Oh. So I would have to spend at least 3 hours on each panel, which if I could make each page only take 3 hours to draw, that would actually be great. That's a great goal to work towards. I don't know if I'll actually get there, but that would be great. Fallen, we just calculated how long the first chapter took me to draw. And this is just the digital part. This doesn't even count the sketch that I did, traditional. It took me almost 40 hours. 40! That's crazy. I can't believe that. I seriously can't believe that. That's so crazy. That kind of makes me tired thinking about it. Yeah, enjoy your lunch, Calorie. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, well, let's see. No, you lying? I wish! I wish I was lying. I just added all of them up. But, you know, it's for the love of the craft. Yeah, hopefully it won't take me so long as we go. If I can bring it down to 20, that's great. I can do 20 hours in a week. That's fine. I mean, I am an artist, so I mean, the nice thing about drawing a comic is that it, like, forces you to get better at drawing in general. Because you have to draw so much, it forces you to get better. And you have to draw things at angles you normally wouldn't because you're trying to convey a story. You have to draw backgrounds. Well, you don't have to, I guess, but you should. You should draw backgrounds. And also, all of the speech, all the text, that is handwritten. So I feel like it's improving my handwriting too. It is an all-around skill booster, but the time consumer. So I guess if you want to get better at art quickly, write a comic. I imagine it makes you very consistent as well. Yeah, I feel like I've always been pretty consistent with drawing. I mean, when times get rough, sometimes I don't draw so much. But generally, yeah, I've been pretty consistent. And when you write a comic and people want to read it, that definitely helps motivate you to keep going. I wonder how many hours I put in this week alone, actually. I don't know how long I actually put in this week, specifically, or this last week. Definitely a lot. Yeah. Alright, let's look at another question. Probably 30 this week? Maybe. Maybe. That sounds about right. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I should have like a timer or something so I can see how long it's taking me. Okay, so here's another good question. What programs or tools do you use? I am drawing my comic completely on Procreate, which is on my iPad, and I believe Procreate is only on the iPad. I tried Clip Studio Paint, which is actually supposed to be really good for writing comics, but I'm so not used to that program at all. So I'm just doing, or I've just been working on Procreate because I'm used to the program. I would love to learn how to do Clip Studio, and I think there's a lot of built-in features in Clip Studio that help make the process faster, but I have to learn a whole new program in order to like get there, and I feel like that'll take me even longer. So I just haven't done it. But yeah, I'm just using Procreate on my iPad. The brushes that I use, my main brush, I use the mono line, and I have it set at a specific, what do you call it, size? I think it's like 13.13. That's for like all the text and like the borders of the boxes and stuff. And then for the actual characters, I use the technical pen. Yeah, which I think those are just basic Procreate brushes. And then Procreate has like some texture brushes, like you can see behind me, there's the grass and stuff. That's like from Procreate. Yeah. And like the moon has some texture in it. All of my stuff is base Procreate stuff. I have not learned how to make my own brushes yet. I don't think I will. That seems like a craft that is difficult. You use a digital tablet, don't you? Yeah. So I use an iPad. I don't know what generation it is. Sorry. I was grabbing it. Let me see. Does it have like the information on it at all? Okay, my iPad model is the A2270. I don't know what that is. But my iPad is kind of on the older side now, I'd say. I don't know how old though. Is that the right like number? iPad model. Oh yeah, 82270 is right there. It's the iPad 8th generation. When did it come out? I don't know when I got it. 2020? That sounds about right. Yeah, so it's kind of getting up there in age, which scares me. Hopefully it'll be okay. Let me see when I first started drawing. I don't know if I got it in 2020 or if I got it a little after. Because I know when we bought it, I know I didn't buy like a brand new one, I don't think. I don't think. Yeah, okay, I think I got it in 2021. But yes, the 8th generation. I should probably get a new one, but I don't. We'll see. My question is, how do they sound? Oh, how does Namika and Saika sound? That's a good question. That is a good question. I've always imagined that Namika... I guess I'll compare it to characters. I would say Namika probably sounds something like Fluttershy. That's what I imagine. Or maybe like Madoka from Madoka Magica, like a mix of Fluttershy and Madoka. And Saika... I don't know. Saika's voice has always tripped me up because in some ways I kind of like think of Rainbow Dash a little bit, but not as raspy. More sweet. I don't know. I'd say they both have kind of higher pitched voices though. Comical high and low pitched voices. I mean, that would be cute too, but I don't know. I imagine them both kind of with higher voices. Maybe... I don't know what Saika's always been harder for me to imagine what she would sound like. Maybe like Scootaloo from My Little Pony. Maybe Scootaloo. But that doesn't feel right either. Because I feel like she would also have kind of a higher pitched voice. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe Fluttershy and Scootaloo. I don't know why those are my first thoughts. But yeah, that sounds right. And Yume is the squeakiest of them all. Yume probably sounds like Pinkie Pie. But like I will say, okay, since you're watching this stream, and because I can, I will say, okay, this is a slight spoiler, but not really. Yume! I love her. I love her so much. Yume is... She's kind of a brat. She's kind of a little sassy bunny. So, like a sassy Pinkie Pie would be Yume. Maybe even higher. I had a hamster named Sweetie Belle. That's so cute. That's like a perfect name for a hamster. I think my sibling had a hamster named Sweetie. Yeah. Okay. So, we're getting close to like the end of the question list. Well, there's still quite a bit. But the next question is, there's emotional questions. So, not like I'm gonna cry by answering them, but mostly like looking at the emotions of the comic. So what emotions do you want to invoke? What messages does the story convey? What do the characters learn from each other? And is friendship the most important theme? So, emotions that I want to convey. I want the story to be quite wholesome. And I do want friendship to be like the main point, sort of. but also, like, I want it to be relatable. Basically, this comic, I want it to be the comic that I wish I had when I was in middle school. To not feel so alone. Because sometimes you lose friends. And so that might be a major point in the comic is friendship loss. But still learning to be okay with that loss and finding comfort in others even when they could hurt you, you know? That is something that I think is a really important message. Yeah. So that's like the main gist of it. It's like learning how to do friendship, because friendship is hard. They have ears. Are they Oh no, they're bows on the back of their. I guess they do kind of look like ears. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, on the back of their heads. I guess it does kind of look like ears. They're supposed to be big old bows. They're wearing flower crowns that tie off in a big bow in the back. But it does kind of look like cat ears, and I love that. Bless you. Thank you. My bad. No worries. No, they do look like cat ears, and I like that. Maybe they're bow cat ears. I like the silhouette of that they give. Bless you, 3. Thank you. Yeah, they got bows. I had to have a bow somewhere in their design. They can't escape the bow. I love bows. Alright, let's see. But yeah, I would say friendship is probably the most important theme. And like I said, learning how to be friends, learning how to deal with not great people, but you know, loyalty and kindness, the elements of harmony. Kind of, I'd say a little bit. What do the characters learn from each other? I think you'll learn this as you read the comic. But definitely there are aspects to both Namika and Saika. They both have flaws. You know, I think it's pretty obvious that Namika's biggest flaw is that... I struggle with this too, so I don't mean flaw in like a bad way. I mean, it is not in a good way. It's not a great thing. But, you know, she kind of has social anxiety and stuff, and she's quite nervous. So I think, you know, one of the things she learns from Saika is to just exist. Exist as your true self, and don't worry what others think so much, because it'll only cause you more stress. And I think for Saika, what she learns from Namika, that's a bit more complicated. So I'm not going to share that one just yet, because it has something to do with the big part of the story. But I will say it sort of has to do with loyalty, and also maybe, like, you know, I think loyalty is important, but sometimes you're being loyal to the wrong thing, and you have to learn which thing is better for you to be loyal to. I feel like there's a lot of people who are in relationships or friendships with people who don't add things to their lives and actively take away. So, but it's easy to stay with those people because you can't imagine being without them. But there's life after bad people, you know? So I think that's something Saika learns in this story. Yeah. Misplaced loyalty. Yes, thank you. That's a better way to put it. I didn't know how to put that. But yeah. Being humble, I'm learning that this year. That's a good thing to learn. But yeah, so that's the gist of it, I'd say. Hello, welcome in. Mr. Dutch. I don't know how to say your name, but welcome in. Also, I think... so I know the title of the stream says we're doing art, but I don't think we're gonna get to that today. I don't have a lot of time left, unfortunately. So I'm gonna just remove that from the title. Sorry about that. False advertisement. Anyway. So let's see, we have a bit more questions here. I already answered how long, or how, like, ideas for the story. Dun, dun, dun. Do you dream of publishing the comic in print? Yes! At some point, that would be amazing. If I were to actually have my comic be printed, I would redraw everything, though. And I don't know if I would print it in color. I kind of want it to be, like, exactly like a manga. You know? So maybe, like, way in the future, I could do, like a traditional style manga. I would love to publish it that way. I don't know if I would like to publish it as it is now. I would definitely redraw a bunch more things if I were to ever publish it, like, in color or the way it is now. I've also thought about maybe publishing, like, a light novel version. That way I can still share the story, but then we can have, like a couple pages of drawings sprinkled throughout. That would be pretty cool, I think. Yeah. I made a comic in college, and one of the things that I kept overlooking despite knowing it is it takes time. Yes, it does take a lot of time. I finished it at the last minute. Live and learn. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. So, I need to learn better time management, so I'm hoping that this will help me do that. I'm hoping it'll help me learn that as we as we go through the story and stuff. But yeah, let's see. Another question. Do you plan to create further stories set in the same world? I actually do have a short story about a totally different character. It's a little boy named Arlo. And it actually takes place in the world of Whimsicalia. It is like a 10-page short story. And it does take place in the world of Whimsicalia, and some of the characters are sprinkled in. Maybe at some point I could share that with you guys, because it is done. And I would like to explore other characters in Whimsicalia as well. I feel like that could be really fun. But yeah, so, I feel like it could be really fun to, like, have all that, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. Does it cost to do Webtoon? No, it doesn't. I believe Webtoon should be free for you guys. It doesn't cost me anything to post my comic there. Yeah, it doesn't cost me anything to post on any of the websites. If it did, I wouldn't post there. It shouldn't cost the artist anything, and also I wouldn't post. I want to be able to share the comic with you guys for free. The only way I would ever, like, put it behind a paywall is if it was like a physical item. So yeah, it is. I think my daughter should do one. Yeah, why not? If it's something she's passionate about, then definitely she should do it. She should go for it. Just make sure she has a buffer. And by that I mean make sure that there's a space between each chapter so she has time to draw it. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah. So, let's see. Oh, and then okay, so this will be the last question I answer about it from this list. If you guys want to ask questions, feel free. But then this one says, is there a chance that we, the audience, will appear in the background as supporting characters? And I do feel like I mentioned this before, that I want to do like a draw this in your style challenge or something like that. I feel like it could be really fun to have like a community event where you guys could like win your character in like have your character in like the background of the comic, or you know, something like that. I feel like it could be really fun for you guys. I'll have to figure out how exactly I want to do it, but I feel like that would be really fun. Yeah, I think that could be really cool. Oh man, there's a lot of there's a lot of new people coming in the chat. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, the chat's getting like spammed right now. My YouTube doesn't like this. I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix it. Sorry for the random spam, guys. Anyway, need a translator. Yeah. Oh no. I'm worried that these might be bots though. I'm not sure if these are real people. Anyway, let me see. So, yeah, at some point I would love to do like a community event where you guys could have the chance of having your character in the background, or even like I mentioned earlier, you guys could design your own Floramies, which would be really fun. If only we had live translations, yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if these are real people chatting in here. What are your plans next week? Oh, okay, actually, I have something really exciting. So next Saturday will be my sixth month anniversary, which is great. I'm really excited about that, actually. So I'm gonna do a karaoke. We're gonna do a karaoke next week. I know you guys, some people have been wanting me to do one for a little bit, so that's what'll be next week, Saturday. And then I think there'll be 2 other streams. And I kind of want to do, I have My Little Pony card packs, and I think it could be really fun to do. I think it could be really fun to do, a card pack opening live with you guys. I feel like that could be really, really fun. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. I might do that Friday, I think. I don't know. I'm going to try to post the schedule tonight. I feel like I always say that and then I forget to post it. But I am going to try to post the schedule tonight. So please be on the lookout for that. And, yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm done talking about my comic. I feel like I've talked about it so much. But yeah, if there's anything else you guys really want to know, then let me know, and I'll let you know. Otherwise, I think that might be where we wrap things up today, especially since there seems to be some issues. Yeah. Apologies for the stuff. But yeah, I think that'll be it for today, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's already over, I guess. Yeah. Alright, well, thank you all for hanging out. I hope you guys are very excited for the future of my comic and future of us. Of our streaming stuff together. I can't believe it's already been 6 months, which is really crazy to think about. But yeah, hopefully the next stream will be even better. Yeah. I hope you don't mind that it was just chatting today. I was gonna do art, but I got distracted yapping. It's alright, it was fun. Okay, good. Yeah, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. And yeah, I hope you all are doing well. And yeah. Alright, everybody. I'm gonna say goodbye now. Hopefully everything's all good. I think it is. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for hanging out and being wonderful and being cool and awesome. Alright, everyone. I'll see you guys. I think I'm doing my next stream Tuesday? I don't know. You'll find out later. Alright, everyone. Bye. I'll see you guys.